In the final days of this campaign, we have developments every day. A prominent local headline tied to the presidential race came up late last week when the Florida Times-Union endorsed Donald Trump for president. Joining me now is Rick Mullaney with the Jacksonville University Public Policy Institute. Rick, as always, thank you for coming. I want to talk to you about this TU endorsement. I was a little surprised by that. We've seen a lot of newspapers go the opposite way.
You're not alone in being surprised. I think a lot of people are surprised, actually. But I think this endorsement pretty much reflects the views of the ownership of the Times-Union, and I don't think necessarily reflects the views of the newsroom, or even maybe the editorial board. I imagine there's some discussion going on in the editorial board itself. It does reflect, and I don't know how important endorsements are, people do debate that, but for major newspapers around the country, this is one of the few, actually, that has endorsed Donald Trump. But it is a sign of some momentum for Donald Trump has in the closing days. He does have some momentum. A couple weeks ago, this race was over. Clearly, Hillary Clinton in a landslide. Today, it's a much more competitive race, although Hillary clearly has the lead.
Do you think the endorsement had anything to do with the shifting landscape of this race, with it becoming more tight and possibility of Donald Trump becoming president, whereas 2 weeks ago, a month ago, when other newspapers were doing this, it looked like Hillary might have been a shoo-in?
I think a month ago, it would have been harder to have given this endorsement. What we really saw from the first debate from September 26th to October 26th, during that 30-day period, it was all Hillary Clinton. And Donald Trump's credibility was at stake, and he was in a free fall. That began to slow with the WikiLeaks. It began to slow with the Obamacare premiums, and then, of course, the blockbuster letter from Director Comey. So I do think it probably emboldened the Times-Union some to step out. They might have anyway. But I do think, consistent with some of the momentum you're seeing for Donald Trump, they were more willing to take a stand that is not typical of what's going on around the country.
So much focus has been on Trump-Clinton in this election, but there is so much more on this ballot that you think people need to be focusing on.
Make no mistake, as far as the ballot goes, the Senate race is something to really keep an eye on. Right now, the Republicans have a majority of 54 to 46. The Democrats need to pick up 4 seats if Hillary Clinton wins, 5 if Donald Trump wins, and there are about 8 or 9 Senate races hanging in the balance. It's too close to call right now, but I would say there's a slight lean towards the Democrats gaining a majority, but that could change because you're seeing closing momentum. The other big thing to keep an eye on is 2 days from now, after nearly 4 decades of a conservative majority on the U.S. Supreme Court, 2 days from now, based on this outcome, you could see not only see that change, you could see it change for the next quarter of a century. That's because the next president may have 4 appointments to the U.S. Supreme Court. That's the most since Richard Nixon.
And that is one of the things that Trump has really tried to hammer home. He's laid out, I think, 20 or so justices that he would nominate.
He has. He's made an issue of this, and I think the public tends to think, oh yes, they got to replace Scalia. This is important, but it's not just that. You've got 3 judges: Ginsburg's 83, Kennedy's 80, Breyer's 78. Plus,
and the rest are not all spring chickens.
Well, the conservatives are a little older, but the liberals are younger. Kagan is 56, Sotomayor is 62. So if Hillary Clinton were to win and she got 4 appointments, you could have a strong liberal majority for decades to come.
Something to keep in mind. And as far as the landscape, the one-on-one matchup, if you look at the Real Clear Politics average on the internet, it's shrinking down to around little under 2%. It's not just the popular vote, though. Electorally, where do you see this at right now? Is that tightening up as well for Donald Trump, or does he still have a lot of ground to make up?
You're exactly right. The national map doesn't matter as much because it is about the electoral vote. But in the battleground states, you're actually seeing it has tightened up some. It has become more competitive. But make no mistake, Hillary Clinton does still have some significant leads. 5-point leads or better in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, so do those states. But in other states, Donald Trump leads in Ohio, he leads in Iowa, dead heat in Florida. So this is a much more competitive race. However, if you look at the electoral map, it favors the Democrat. It favors Hillary Clinton. If she wins Florida, it's over. If Donald Trump wins Florida, he still has to run a number of other states to get to 270.
And they're here in Jacksonville all the time. Not a surprise. Well, thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. If you want the latest news on the presidential or any other local race, go to newsforjax.com and click on the Politics tab. And also make sure to take a look at our Voters Guide. That's newsforjax.com/votersguide.